Call it a vacation with bite. I'm Brian Lilley with the Rebel.media. Justin Trudeau's fancy pants vacation on the private island of a billionaire, complete with a massive yacht and private helicopter trips, may be biting him in the butt. Trudeau is now the first Canadian Prime Minister in history to face an investigation into his own activities by the Conflict of Interest and Ethics Commissioner. Now, Liberals will be quick to say, hey, that office only came into being in 2007. True. But firstly, Stephen Harper was never investigated, never mind found to be in violation of the law. Secondly, the current office is just a redesign of previous offices, the first of which was set up in 1974 by Pierre Trudeau. Can you name me a PM that has been under investigation since Pierre? Congrats, Justin. You just did in 1 year what others couldn't do in their whole careers. Mary Dawson, the commissioner, replied to a letter by Conservative MP Blaine Calkins, who filed the formal complaint. Dawson replied that she sees two potential conflicts: accepting the trip and flying on private aircraft, which federal law explicitly forbids cabinet ministers from doing. Should be a pretty easy case to examine. Trudeau admits he took the vacation and the helicopter ride, all for free. His attempt to find it out is to claim the Aga Khan, the billionaire philanthropist and owner of the island, is a friend. That shouldn't hold any water given the amount of business his foundation does with the Canadian government. $310 million in grants since 2004, $55 million just last year when Trudeau was in charge of the giant federal cookie jar. This should be an open and shut case, but of course, Dawson has a history of going easy on the politicians she's in charge of monitoring. I mean, just before Christmas, she excused Health Minister Jane Philpott for using the services of a limo company that was owned by a Liberal donor and campaign volunteer, and according to media reports, in Philpott's own words, taxpayers had paid too much for the service. Despite all that, Dawson saw no issue with the cozy relationship. So while Trudeau's the first PM to be investigated, he's a long way off from facing that whopping $500 per offense fine. Just last week, as Trudeau was dismissing this idea, though, that he'd done anything wrong by accepting a free vacation on a tropical island, the little people in the civil service were being reminded not to take free muffins at conferences. I'm not making this up. A memo went out to staff of the Canada Revenue Agency from Rock Hoope, the Values and Ethics Champion, reminding them that when they attend conferences, there might be hospitality that's sponsored by a stakeholder group, like a tax law firm, let's say, and not covered by the conference fees the agency had paid. Hoope reminds all staff, as CRA employees, we have a duty to maintain the CRA's strong reputation for integrity. We must look beyond our intentions and motives and consider how the public might see our actions. That's the opposite of what Justin Trudeau just did. Most people outside of Ottawa wouldn't know this, but the rules for federal employees are so strict they can't accept any kind of gift from a business they're doing business with. The Ottawa Senators, the NHL team, regularly puts together a solid team. They play amazing hockey, but they have to work harder than most organizations to sell tickets. Why? Employees of the biggest business in town not allowed to accept tickets as gifts. That's right. In every arena and stadium across North America, seats are filled with people doing business with each other. But federal employees in Ottawa can't accept a ticket to a hockey game while the PM takes a tropical vacation on a private island. Trudeau really thinks he's above the law, that the rules don't apply to him. You know, they apply to the people that get memos from the Values and Ethics Champion, but those rules aren't for Trudeau. He's above it all. He has no one to tell him no. Stephen Ledrew, a Toronto lawyer, broadcaster, former president of the Liberal Party of Canada, wrote about this in a Toronto Sun column. Ledrew said the PMO shows a complete lack of common sense. He said the party president should have warned him the trip was no good, but she was there too. Quote, is there no one who has the good sense to tell the PM what works, what's defensible, what flies, or more importantly, what shouldn't be flying? Or is the arrogance of Trudeau's Ottawa so pervasive that it's above the law, the rules, above what most Canadians call common sense? I'd say the arrogance is so pervasive they really do think they're above the law. But there is a chance to bring Trudeau and his Liberals back down to earth. If Mary Dawson, the ethics commissioner, holds Trudeau to the same standard as the little people are held to, the people that get memos from Rock Hoope, the Values and Ethics Champion at CRA, if Trudeau is held to that standard, then he's going to be the first PM found in violation of the law, and that bite me enough to make them see how out of touch and arrogant they really have become. Hey, if you like the video you just watched and never miss one again, click subscribe.